Yo, Mecha here again. Today I'm once again talking about the future. Anytime you see me wearing this green hoodie, and everything from the neck down, and not just the computer screen, expect me to be talking about the future in some regard. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about from the waste, whatever the frick that is. We're going to be talking about Hallow Waste. We're going to be talking about greeds in the waste. We're going to be talking about pillage gang. We're going to be talking about takeover. And we're going to be talking about the last thing. So we're going to be talking about the last thing first, Project Unknown. I'm the coder on that. If you guys don't know what that is, welcome to the club, but whatever. Point is, currently DGM's the guy who's doing the updates on Project Unknown. So go over to his channel, I'll link it in the description, and any and all updates that have been shown publicly, you're going to find there. I'm not talking about the project yet until it's in a state that's worth showing, and until we've agreed upon that it's in that state worth showing. So I'm just letting you know that, yeah. Number two, what's going on with Takeover and or Pillage Gang? Pillage Gang is completely canceled, it's not happening, and Takeover is on hold until I find enough energy to work on the project again. That's why I made Pillage Gang in the first place, was to get energy to work on Takeover. I was working on Pillage Gang as a side project to let off some steam because of how repetitive 2 beat-em-ups in a row were. I decided that Pillage Gang would have basically taken as much effort as Rise, and that's why I scrapped it. Hallow Waste exists for the same reason Pillage Gang did, as a way to blow off steam. The difference is Hallow Waste is the most fun project I've ever made to date, and probably will be forever. It took almost relatively little effort because of, you know, how much of it had already been done. From the Waste was a canceled game from like a year and a half ago. I just took that and I updated it with stuff I knew from stuff I learned from making Rise, stuff I learned from working on Takeover, and stuff I learned in between that time that From the Waste was canceled. From the Waste was the first major project I made. Without From the Waste, Rise would not exist. Whatever. You guys probably don't even know what From the Waste is. It's a game I made like March 2020, started working on it then, and I canceled it officially the month before I started working on Rise. So that's where I learned the majority of what I know about coding now. Hallow Waste is me taking what was salvageable there, combining it with some Rise stuff that I learned while making Rise, and just tuning it up until it was playable. And I honestly think Hallow Waste is the best game I've made to date because it's just the most fun. Greeds in the Waste is a sequel to Hallow Waste that I'm working on, not a sequel, it's another Waste spin-off that I'm working on top of Project Unknown, and I'm going to be transitioning between these two projects on the daily, basically, whenever I'm burnt out on Project Unknown because of how much it's going to take of refining to get that done. I'm going to work on Greeds in the Waste. If there's a time where I'm waiting for DGM to get back to me with whatever needs to be changed with the animation stuff, I'm going to be working on Greeds in the Waste. It's a project to blow off steam while still getting coding, while still learning stuff, while still getting better at it. That's why Greeds in the Waste exist. If I need a break from both, I'm just not going to code that day. The reason why Greeds in the Waste is therapeutic is because it doesn't take long to draw the simplistic stuff and animate the simplistic stuff in Hallow Waste. You guys see how simple of an art style it has if you've seen the video on it. Greeds in the Waste has a simple art style as well, and I don't have to, you know, deal with all of the animation stuff that I have to with Project Unknown, because that game has a lot of animations versus friggin' Greeds in the Waste, which has at most 3 to 4 animations per character. That's only for the bosses. The normal enemies just have a moving animation and a death animation for the most part. So that's what's been going on with all of this. Greeds in the Waste, I expect to have it finished by, I actually don't know, probably sometime at the beginning of December. Because, again, I'm working on 2 projects at the same time, and it's not the primary focus, just the Steam project. Not Steam as in the platform, but platform Steam where you buy games, but Steam as in to let off steam. I should probably make that clear. But that's what Greeds in the Waste is. That's why it exists. This is probably the first time many of you guys are hearing about this if you're not on the Discords, which you're not. Most people aren't, except for the people who come in here regularly, which are the only people who honestly care, so I don't even know why I'm making this video. But that's why Greeds in the Waste exists, that's why Hallow Waste exists, that's why Pillage Gang is canceled, that's why Takeover's on hold. Takeover may or may not continue development sometime after Project Unknown's completion. It probably won't, honestly, but I do want to use that engine for something, because Takeover is actually a really solid engine. And while some of its lifeblood is in Project Unknown, like the collisions are going to be reused from Takeover, the skill system is going to be reused from Takeover, the combo system is already ported over from Takeover, because the combo system in Takeover actually worked pretty well. But yeah, so Takeover is on hold, Pillage Gang is canceled, Greed's in the Waste is in development, Hallow Waste is completely finished and up to play, Project Unknown is also in development and will be in development for a long time. Like, we're talking friggin' February, March, maybe even April. Who knows at this rate? It'll take a while is what I'm trying to say. But that's all I wanted to say. I know this is briefer than the last one of these videos, but I'm talking way faster here because this isn't really speculative stuff for the most part. It's just things that have happened, that are happening, and that will happen.